What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. Katie is appalled when Thomas attacks Brooke. The Bold and the Beautiful events. Ridge assured Eric in the CEO's office that he would never lose Brooke again. Eric expressed his happiness to him and said that he understood that was what Ridge truly wanted and that he couldn't help but get involved. Ridge was shocked to see himself torn between the same two women once more and was unsure of the impact his reunion with Brooke would have on everyone. Ridge was calmed by Eric's assurance that although he couldn't provide Taylor with what she wanted, someone else would eventually. Complete dedication. Eric maintained that Ridge wasn't being truthful with everyone because he was repressing his feelings for Brooke. Ridge claimed to be joyful despite knowing that he was harming everyone else. Since all Thomas had going on in his life was heartbreak, Ridge expressed concern for him and expressed optimism that his parents' wedding would improve his mental state. Although Thomas wouldn't like hearing that Ridge and Brooke were married, Eric assured him that he would be all right. Eric assumed that both Taylor and Ridge would be leaving. As the mother of his grandkids, he stated Taylor had a place in the family and could stay for as long as she needed to. Before giving Ridge a hug, he advised him to cherish his love for Brooke and to allow no one or anything stand in the way of it. Thomas made it clear to Brooke in the design office across the hall that she would not harm his mother by robbing his father once more. Thomas claimed that Brooke had done everything, including the boat mishap, to humiliate Taylor and win Ridge back. He screamed about how much she had broken people's hearts. When he saw Brooke's ring, he stopped talking. He questioned whether they were remarried incredulously. "Just be happy for your father," Brooke advised Thomas. Thomas claimed that she didn't deserve to have her heart torn out again and that she would never be able to give Ridge what Taylor could. He stated forcefully, "You might believe that this is how it ends, but it's not. You are completely mistaken." When Brooke said that Ridge came up with the concept for the Insta-wedding, Thomas didn't believe her and wanted to know if it was her idea. Although Brooke acknowledged that she could see why he wanted his parents together, she insisted that he accept her and Ridge's relationship for his own happiness. Given their past with Brooke, Thomas stated that he would never be able to accept it. He accused her of using sex and tears as a means of regaining his affection. "You only ever consider yourself," Thomas roared. He referred to her as the harlot from the valley, his grandmother's favorite term, and claimed she lacked self-respect. "I will never allow you to harm the people I care about again because I am so sick of you doing it. Never. Once more." Grabbing Brooke and shaking her, Thomas let out a scream. "Quit." As she escaped his grasp, Brooke screamed. As Brooke pushed Thomas away, Ridge rushed in the door and positioned himself in front of him. "Dad, really? You're doing this again?" Thomas cried out loud. He pleaded with Ridge to assure him that he would not desert his family and harm Steffi, their mother, and himself once more. Bill and Katie were taken aback when Will revealed to them at the Spencer mansion that Luna was still alive and that he knew this since he had slept with her. Lee saved Luna, just as she saved Finn, Will clarified. The news was even worse, according to Will. After the party, Will told his parents, Luna attacked him in the room, and he had sex with her without realizing it since he mistakenly believed she was Elektra while intoxicated. Will went on to say that Luna believed they were destined to be together, which horrified Katie. He described how he had found her and how, even though he was still alive, it blew his mind. However, he discovered that he had slept with Luna when she handed him the mask. "God," Katie let out a horrified gasp. Luna pleaded with Remy to assist her at his flat. Remy didn't see why she needed his assistance to win Will back. Although he was aware that she had committed more offenses, Luna maintained that the shootings were unintentional. Luna told Remy that the most important thing was that she survived, but he also wanted to know how she did it and who assisted her. In addition to wanting to hide from Will at his apartment, he was curious as to why Luna desired to be with him. "Luna, that sounds really promising," Remy complained. Luna reassured Remy that she had already slept with Will, demonstrating their connection. When she saw how inebriated he was, she went to his room, played bartender, and disrupted the party, she informed him. She claimed that being with him was wonderful and that he wasn't so inebriated that he couldn't have sex with her. Will believed he was with his girlfriend, not her, Remy observed. Luna stated that she wished to give him something else because she provided him something that his partner would never do. The most recent chaos on The Bold and the Beautiful left even the most seasoned viewers clutching their pearls as Thomas Forrester unleashed his rage on Brooke Logan in a way that stunned Ridge, rattled Eric, and left Katie Logan completely horrified at the depths of his rage. It all started in the calm but tense executive suite of Forrester Creations, where Ridge Forrester had just concluded a heart-to-heart with his father, Eric Forrester, about his renewed marriage to Brooke, a marriage that Ridge insisted would be his last, stating with quiet confidence that he would never lose her again. Even though his vow was made after he had broken Taylor Hayes' heart, and even as Ridge acknowledged how hard it was to feel torn between the two women who had shaped his adult life once more, Eric assured him that even though he might not be able to give Taylor the unwavering devotion she desired, someone else would eventually, because Brooke was the woman who still owned Ridge's soul. Eric, grinning with the tired but wise resignation of a man who had witnessed decades of Forrester drama, reminded his son that repressing his true feelings for Brooke had never, ever worked, and he urged Ridge to protect that love at all costs. As they embraced, Eric acknowledged that he worried about Thomas. Concerning how Ridge's abrupt remarriage would strike his son's already shattered emotional landscape like a grenade because Thomas was not stable, steady, or healed enough to take such a blow without spiraling. However, Ridge dismissed some of that worry, stating that he would be there for his son even though he knew Thomas would detest the news. Meanwhile, in the design office across the hall, Thomas was already lash out at Brooke with venom that seemed to be drawn from years of betrayal, abandonment, and resentment. His voice rose as he accused her of once again tearing apart his family, humiliating his mother, and prioritizing her own self-interest over Ridge, Steffi, and himself. When he saw the glimmering ring on her finger, his outburst only grew more intense, his eyes ablaze with shock as he spit out incredulously that they had remarried, demanding to know whether she had used bedroom trickery and crocodile cries to coerce Ridge into it. Brooke, who had previously dealt with Thomas's animosity but not often with such unbridled intensity, attempted to comfort him by telling him to be happy for his father, to realize that Ridge had made the proposal, that the choice had been his, not hers, and that although she knew Thomas wanted his parents to be reunited, love didn't always follow the path that kids had laid out for it. In a terrifying echo of his late grandmother Stephanie Forrester's worst remarks, Thomas yelled, his face contorted with disdain, that Brooke would never be able to give Ridge what Taylor could, never, since Taylor represented strength and loyalty and Brooke was nothing but betrayal. He threw the harlot from the valley at Brooke, accusing her of lacking self-respect, constantly ruining lives to get what she wanted, and repeatedly manipulating his father. Then, in a terrifying outburst of physicality, he lunged forward, grabbed Brooke, and shook her while yelling for her to stop ruining everything. His anger teetered into violence as Brooke screamed for him to let her go and shoved him away, tears in her eyes from fear and rage. With a mixture of shock and heartbreak, his protective instincts kicked in as he pushed himself between his son and his wife, holding his hands up to Thomas and demanding to know what his son believed he was doing. Instead of giving up, Thomas screamed in agony, pleading with his father to open his eyes, to see how Brooke was ruining him, to swear that he would never desert his family again, that he would not put Steffi, Taylor, or himself through any more suffering. Ridge's face hardened as he silenced Thomas, telling him bluntly that he should be the target of his anger, not Brooke, that Brooke had done nothing but love him, and that even though Ridge would always care about Taylor, Brooke was his wife, and he had to accept that or risk destroying what little remained of their bond as father and son. Meanwhile, Katie Logan's day was falling apart at the Spencer mansion, where she and Bill listened in horror as their son Will Spencer dropped the bombshell that Luna Nozawa, who many believed to be dead, was actually still alive, and worse, that she had deceived and attacked him during a drunken night, making him believe she was Electra Forrester while she climbed into his bed. Unable to comprehend the extent of Luna's manipulation, unable to reconcile the girl who had caused this suffering with the image of her son vulnerable, drunk, and deceived, Bill's face turned to stone with rage as he vowed Luna would pay, but Katie could only cling to her son, shaken to her core by what he endured, her mind spinning with thoughts of justice, protection, and vengeance. Katie's maternal fury mixed with profound heartbreak as she pressed Will for details, her horror only growing as he explained how Luna handed him the mask afterward, making him realize the truth too late. The bold and the beautiful world once again found itself spinning on the axis of betrayal, violence, and raw human emotion as the violent attack by Thomas reverberated through the family, leaving Katie appalled, Brooke shaken, Ridge torn, and the entire canvas bracing for the inevitable explosion of consequences that would ripple through Los Angeles's most glamorous yet most tortured clan. Luna begged for shelter, insisting to Remy that what happened with Will was proof of their destined bond, and defending her actions with delusional logic that horrified him as he realized how far gone she was.